Also during blue phase, you go on the last field training exercise, and that field training exercise is 4 days and 3 nights, and you basically do everything that you learned up until this point. We had this thing where we had like 4 lanes, and we focused like I know other people had more lanes, but we really focused on like those 4 lanes, and the drill sergeants did a really good job. Like they put it like life scenarios that they had in it, and the first lane that we did was we're on a patrol. You know, you're 3 to 5 meters apart. Basically 3 to 5 meters apart from everybody, and an IED blows up. So then you're like IED, IED. That's when you form that 360 security. If there's any injuries or whatever, you take care of the injuries at the time, and you call in 9-line medevac. You call in all that stuff. Um, you'll learn it all, especially when you get to blue phase, and then as you move, you go to the next checkpoint, checkpoint 2. Then you keep going, and then the next part, we had gotten, we got in contact from somebody else. So they teach you the 3Ds, which is distance description, and direction. So you're like enemy contact, 12 o'clock, 200 meters, or whatever it is, whatever the situation is. It was on our 3 o'clock, so I mean that's what we shot. We shot back. We moved to cover, and then we said that. So and then from there we started doing the buddy team, just like I told you about back in weight phase. You help them move up and everything. Take out the targets, do laser reports, EPW, and all that stuff. If any casualties, calling for a medevac. And then that was that lane. The next lane, we basically had to talk to these villagers, and we had to get intel on any possible suspects or anything like that. So we were on a patrol, and a couple of people. I did this. Me and my friend, we talked to this guy, got information. Said that they thought they went a certain way, so we were like, all right, started going on a patrol that way. All of a sudden, water round comes out. You hear the whistle, and then all of a sudden, everyone yells incoming, gets down, and it explodes. So then the squad leader usually has them run to like the end of the checkpoint. So we just booked it. Never ended up obviously like getting in touch with that. Never ended up getting that person, but we had intel that we thought they went that way, and we started going that way. And water round went off. We just ran. So I mean that was that phase. That was just teaching you what to do in that situation if a mortar goes off. Basically, you don't just stand there because now you're a target to get hit again. So you just keep running as long as you need to. Which in our case was like just it was all the way down the road till we got to the end of the checkpoint. Next lane, we did vehicle searching. Basically, if a vehicle comes by, it's kind of like what you would see if you're trying to get on base or something like that. If they had to search your car for some reason, it's just like that. They have people. Well, in AIT we had people pulling guards in the towers, but we didn't have towers, so we just had this road, and this vehicle is driving up, and we had to search the vehicle for any possible IEDs, and that's when you went about your rules and your level of engagement. If the person's not really cooperating, you kind of like start yelling and stuff, and then you do like warning shots, and if he doesn't do anything after the warning shot, you just kill him. But I mean, there's like different. You have to work your way up to that level, and so you'll like search the car, and you're trying to search for any IEDs or anything that's that looks fishy or anything, and then from there, you do that. Then we moved. We kept moving to the next checkpoint. The next checkpoint, we basically practiced reacting to sniper fire. So there was a sniper. So as soon as there's a sniper, you shoot back, and then you yell out like where he is and everything. So the first two people will shoot, then they'll put their weapons down and go back, and then the next two people will come up and shoot, just so that they don't have you as a target, so you're not just standing right there or whatever. Then the last lane was probably like one of the best lanes. Like this drill sergeant was really good. He ended up getting drill sergeant of the cycle. Everyone loved him, and we basically had this patrol where we were going to this village, and we ended up getting we had to capture the high value target. That's all we had to do. We had to capture the high value target and get out of there. So, I mean, the first day that we practiced it, because we did one day of practice and we did another day where we got judged. But this whole thing basically took 4 days because, I mean, you have like 4 platoons, and in 4 platoons you have like 6 squads. So, I mean, it takes time because you need to talk to the people before that, work your way up to the situation, and then talk about it after. And you also have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner too, and whatever else you got to do. So, I mean, and go to bed and all that stuff. So, it did take like 4 days or so. So, we're looking for the high value target. There's 2 buildings that we have to clear. The first day, that practice day, he was in the first building already. So, or he was in the second building. No, he was in the second building, so we had to search both rooms anyway. So we went up against it. We breached it and everything. We also did buddy team moves up until that point, but I mean, like, when the actual situation happened, you had to breach the room. High value target's not in this room, check the other room. High value target's in the other room. Alright. And the drill sergeant was kind of like explaining to us like how you have to do it quick because the mission was just to capture the target. You're not there to kill everybody. I mean, you have to do what you have to do and get out as quick as you can. So he kind of really emphasized that, especially the day that we actually got judged on it. He was in the he was in the first room already, so we didn't have to breach the second room. But some people did. Like, our squad did. There was other squads that didn't, but we did this thing called Op 4, where we actually play as the bad guys. Some people actually did break into the room, and we had a suicide bomber that creates a casualty. That means you have to do first aid for no reason, because you're only in there to get the target and get out. So, I mean, they did a really good job on the setup for it. And that was basically the last thing that we did in basic training. Like, that was the final training thing that we had to do. After we got done with that, we got on the bus, got back to the barracks, we took a shower, and then we finally got to bring our berets with us, because you don't wear your beret in basic. Well, right, I don't think it's even permanent with the ACUs right now, but when it was, you don't wear it anyway. You wear the patrol cap all the time. So you basically have to earn the right to wear the beret. And they had us bring our berets or whatever. And before that, when you're repping the barracks, you mold it and stuff like that, so it's like properly placed on your head like once you wear it. And so you go to this thing called Rites of Passage, and at the Rites of Passage, it's basically your whole battalion or whoever's graduating, your whole battalion, and the company commander, first sergeant, battalion sergeant major, and the battalion commander, and they all come up and they do their speech and everything, and then basically you end up earning the right to wear your beret and be called an American soldier. And after that, it was basically just clean the weapon that you had for the past 10 weeks. That shit had to be perfect. Cleaning all your gear that you had, and then also like stop packing up. Or you might have like one final inspection before you leave, but they'll let you know. Like, people usually ask the drill sergeants when they can stop packing. So the next video I'll make is about graduation and my thoughts about basic training. And then after that, I'll come out with a video about AIT.